We got kill all wipers. Can I do this wiper delete? Let's get into it. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be installing a few items on the rear end of the Kona today. So one is I'm going to be switching up the brackets on my Epsilon wing extension. So the original one comes in a sort of aluminum finish. So they had just released their black finish, and I think this will clean up the rear end a little bit. I mean, I liked how aggressive it looks in the back, but I want to see how switching it to the black will look with the rim extension. And it comes with all the brackets. Yeah, it comes with the brackets as well as the screws to replace it. So that should be that should be an easy install. Next, we have probably going to be a controversial mod. I've read a lot of people always questioning it, but I'm going to delete the rear wiper on the Kona. And the reason for that, before anyone gives me crap about it, is that it hardly rains out here in California. And even when it does, I've driven the car a bunch of times in sort of torrential downpouring, and I've never used the rear wiper. So going to be using the kit from killallwipers.com. This one was made for the Hyundai i30, but my friend Ruben on Instagram has this on his Kona, and he told me this one will fit. So we're gonna go test this out now. So let's take a look at what's inside. So it looks like the wing extension brackets are probably going to be the easiest ones to replace. So I'm going to start that install first and go over that. And then I'll do the rear wiper delete and try to get a little bit of instructions or a step-by-step of a how-to video. So bear with me as I charge the light on my camera, and then we'll go get started and do the brackets first. Stay tuned. So the replacement of these should be pretty easy. I'm just going to go one by one. And to install and uninstall them, there are two screws, one here at the top of the wing and one behind the wing extension. And I don't have the exact measurements of the two screws, but I just grabbed a bunch of Allen wrenches that I had lying around from IKEA and just grabbed the ones that fit the two screws. And just, yeah, as you can see, I'm using them here. And then you probably want to wipe down with a microfiber, not just your fingers like I did here. But after that, I just reversed the process. I put the top screw in first, and then I did the bottom one behind it. And you don't want to over tighten these because you could end up stripping the threads. And here's how they look next to the silver ones. So you can exchange the silver brackets and send them in for a refund if you order the black ones. So that's pretty cool. But I'm deciding to keep the silver ones just in case, I don't know, a bracket falls off or I don't know, something happens. I'll have a backup for the wing to stay on, to the wing extension to stay on. So I'm just going to keep them. But like I said, you could exchange them for a little bit, some money off when you mail back in your existing bracket. So there's that. So I'm going to say these just in case. Gonna take a break also. Not that this was laborious, but or laborists. Not that this was intense install, but just gonna get some lunch, and then I will look to install the rear wiper delete. So let's stay tuned, and we'll see how it turns out. But before that, I just want to say that the Kona and Corner Rascal Club hoodie and t-shirts are available now on the Tiger Speed Shop website. Just use NGS25 for 25% off your whole purchase just in time for the holidays. Now with that said, let's get back to the video. So the tools I used for the wiper delete are a 10mm socket wrench, some various trim removal tools, as well as clear tape. In this case, I had some packing tape, a microfiber towel to wipe the window area, along with some glass cleaner. Also, you'll need a small plastic bag along with some small zip ties. The kit comes with the zip ties, and you could use the bag that comes with the kit, but I had accidentally thrown it out, so I used a small bag that I had lying around. First, you're going to want to remove the cover that is on the wiper blade. Once you have that off, there's a 10mm nut, so take your ratchet and remove that so you can remove the wiper blade off the window. So the blade itself is pretty tight, so wiggle around a bit. Just be careful. I ended up just pulling upward to remove it, but make sure you don't break anything. This is what it looks like when it's removed with the, motor and rubber mount. The next step here is to remove the push clip and the handle cover that is holding the hatch trim. Once you remove that, you should be able to remove the whole liner. The door handle, I'm just pushing this tab down, but just be careful not to break anything. And, right on cue, you can remove the door liner once those two pieces are removed. Again, it might feel like it's going to break, and with the Hyundai quality, I did sort of, break a plastic piece here and there. So I would just say be careful when removing this trim. Next, we're moving on to the motor. First step is to unplug the wiper motor. Then there's 3 10mm bolts that you need to remove. Since the motor is in sort of an awkward position, I just loosened the bolts and didn't remove them right away. That way there's no risk of sort of the motor falling down and breaking after removing these bolts. So just take your time, go slow, and it should be able to come out pretty smoothly. Once the bolts are out, you can remove the whole motor assembly. Just be careful with the motor that's sticking out the window when you remove it. And the last piece here will be the rubber sealant, and just remove it from the outside. It might be tricky, but it'll eventually come loose. Now that the whole assembly is removed, this would be a perfect time to clean the glass area before you install the wiper delete plug. So the holographic sticker will actually be on the inside, and then on the outside is this film piece here, so just be wary of that. The next step here is to test fit the wiper plug to make sure that it fits. And then you want to use your clear tape to make sure that it holds in place as you are test fitting. And in this case, it fit perfectly. Again, this is how it's going to look from the inside of the hatch. And then on the outside, this is what the plug should look like when you're test fitting. The next step is to apply the sealant around the whole plug. Make sure you get into all the crevices so that there's no chance for any water or leaks to get through. Be a little bit liberal on the sealant and be careful. It does kind of get a little bit messy, but does wipe and clean off pretty easily. Next, you want to press the plug from the inside and make sure to press firmly so that the sealant has excess coming out on the outside. Once you do that, use your clear tape to hold the plug in place so the sealant can dry in the right position. Next, you'll want to wipe off the excess sealant that's on the glass, and here you can wipe some of that sealant into the gaps as you're cleaning the surface. Here you can go back and reapply sealant around the plug just to ensure a proper seal. And then you'll want to wipe off the excess sealant again to make sure that any sealant doesn't dry on the outside of the glass. Next, you want to cover your motor plug with the plastic bag and zip ties to make sure water doesn't get in and damage the motor. And then now we wait an hour for the sealant to dry.
1 hour later.
Don't forget to remove the clear tape on the inside, and then I waited for things to dry before reinstalling the inner liner and trim pieces of the trunk. And the last step here is to remove the film sticker on the wiper plug, and you want to make sure that all the sealant is dry. Then you'll probably want to go ahead and wipe the glass down again, but I'm just going to wait just a little bit longer for things to dry.
I don't know why you got me sinking so low. Yeah, girl, you got me restless.
Just got done with the install and thought it came out pretty clean. I like the black accents and the switch up to the black brackets for the Epsilon wing. If you haven't seen my previous video of the Epsilon wing extension install, go check it out here. I'll drop a link in the description below as well. And yeah, subtle touch, but I love how it came out and think that it's a much cleaner and more sort of integrated look overall with the extension now that the brackets are black. Not that the brackets are black. Tongue twister. And as far as the wiper kit delete, pretty easy to install as well. I'm always iffy or weary of taking off trim pieces. I don't know if it's just because I'm rough, but there's always a clip or a piece of plastic that kind of comes off, but putting the trunk lighter back on was pretty seamless. The sealant, I know I took my gloves off for whatever reason. Anything intricate with gloves, I was using them at first, so, you know, don't roast me in the comments too much, but I took them off because anything that's like intricate, I have a hard time applying or handling small pieces. I have to have the gloves off, but larger pieces or larger things, pretty straightforward where I can handle it. So as far as the look of it, it came with the fitment 100%. I'll drop a link in the description below also to where you can get all the products that I did today. And again, shout out to Kill All Wipers for creating this. Again, this one was made for the Hyundai i30N, I believe, but the window plug was 100%. We'll see. I'm still a little drying it right now, but the hardest part was just making sure that the sealant was wiped down. Obviously removing the motor. I think the rear window just looks cleaner. Again, I never use the rear wiper, even when it is, you know, torrential downpour and, you know, it doesn't rain that much in California, if that at all. But when it does, or when there's heavy rain, still don't use it. People will correct me in the comments, you know, the shape or the aerodynamics of the car actually needs the wiper, but I just never use it. It was just always there collecting dust and hard to clean the back window when, you know, it took to the car wash. So now there's no wiper and it's just a cleaner look. So I love how it came out. Again, I hope the instructions were pretty clear and straightforward. Anyways, starting to ramble a bit. I hope you liked that video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you haven't seen the previous vlog, go check out Tiger's Speed Shop and cop some Kona and Corner Rascal Club hoodies. And t-shirts are now live on the site. Use NGS25 for 25% off everything you purchase on tigerspeedshop.com. And yeah, don't know what else to say. So I will catch you in the next video. Peace.